So today's video was to include some drone footage, but unfortunately it's a little too windy and the weather just isn't playing with us to get a bit of drone footage, so it's not going to happen today. Yeah, the problem with the wind is that, well, there's two issues. One, the drone is harder to control in the wind. You've bigger risk of it blowing into a tree or something happening in it. The other issue then also is that the battery life is about a third of what it usually is on a fairly still or windless day. Because the drone works on GPS, it flies up and it'll hover then, and whatever position it's in, it hovers in that position. It's working off the satellites and it'll hold position. But you imagine that if there's a wind, it's continuously having to fly into the wind and to keep it in that same position, so that eats away at battery. Also then, if you want to fly it down the field, say, the drone will fly, my drone will do, I think it's 25 miles an hour it'll do. So that's no problem, you can fly it down the field. If you go to fly back into the wind and you've got a wind of just doing 22, 23 miles an hour of wind, which is quite a wind, I know, but it's still it's probably close to that at the minute. It's very windy out, so you fly into the wind with a drone that'll only do 25, you're only doing about 2 miles an hour into the wind, so it's crawling back up the field, and it's just very hard to walk. So everything just is walking against you when it's windy, so hence why there will be no drone footage today. But what we're doing instead is we're doing a full loop from the yard to this field. It's quite a long draw, that's why I kind of done speeded up footage driving over the road, and then I'll do the spreading in the field and speeded up footage then heading back. So yeah, so we're in the field now. We're going to just switch on the 4-wheel drive and we'll build up the pressure in the tanker. We'll just switch on the PTO now, and we have the lever now is in the spread position. So we're travelling in B3, so we're putting on a decent enough coat of slurry. We're just waiting for the pressure to build up to full pressure. We'll hear our hiss now in a second. I can see the gauge is coming up almost to 1 bar, and there she's starting to hiss, so that should do it. It should be us now. So yeah, I'm not having that much left to do in this field. I've only got about, say, after this load, 2 more might finish out over here. This is a field, we usually cut this for silage. It's quite a long draw from the yard. It takes, I suppose the round trip is about a half an hour by the time you spread the load, and then if you take into account having to fill in the yard as well, you've got about a half-hour round trip time. So it's quite a long run over. There's 7.5 or it's about 8 acres in this field, and as I say, we would usually cut silage of it. Over the last number of years we've cut silage of it. It was reseeded, this field, back a couple of years ago, and yeah, we've cut silage of it ever since. We slurried this late enough before the slurry ban came in, and it left quite a nice coating of grass on it then, which was grazed with sheep. The sheep came off it then just after Christmas, and it has actually started to green up. There's a little bit of grass is coming again on it. So we're going to slurry it now, and we'll leave it then maybe for about a month or so. We'll get sheep onto it then, and we'll get the sheep off it then towards the end of March, and just get it right. It'll be slurried then again, fertilised, and then we'll be mowing it for silage again. That's the plan. So yeah, that's why we're getting rid of some of the slurry over here. It's always a dry field. You can see it's got a hill the whole way right down it, so it's always been very dry. We've made hay in this here for 3 or 4 years as well before it was reseeded, and it was a fantastic field to make hay, and it's south facing, so it always seemed to get a lot of sunshine, and you could make, if you had any kind of weather at all, you could make hay in it in 3 days. 3 days. You mowed it, 3 dry days you get the hay in it. So yeah, so I'm spreading down the hill. Our tyres would not allow us to spread up the hill at the moment because they're quite baldy, so spreading down the hill that way we are not we're not marking the hill in any way whatsoever. It's all slurrying. It's slurrying it very well. There's no damage being done to the ground whatsoever. Yeah, we missed out on any snow here in this area. I know there was some snow in the west and even I think in some of the Midland counties, but we missed out on any snow. Luckily we didn't get any, so quite happy about that. It just allows us to continue to get some of our slurry out. We haven't that much slurry now left to do, so if this piece of land done, it'll leave just one more piece of land that we need to get done at the moment, and that'll probably do us then for a few weeks. We'll get back at it then a little bit later on when maybe when the weather is even a little bit drier. We've a few other bits of grazing land that we'd like to get slurried fairly early, but if the weather stays good, we'll get that done in a couple of weeks, or it doesn't rain too much. I'm just starting to let out a little bit of air, but we are pointing down the hill a bit. So what I'm going to do is just going to turn around. I'll see, it might let a little bit of slurry. There's a little bit here that has to be finished. I might be able to get it. Yeah, we're spreading anyway. There's a little bit of slurry still left in the tanker. Let's finish that bit, and what we'll do is we'll get back around and we'll point it up the hill here, and it'll allow us then to just empty the last bit out of the tanker before making the trip back home. See, the seagulls have arrived. Like the ploughing, they always seem to know when you're at slurry. They arrive hoping to grab an odd worm, and it obviously when you're slurrying and you've a little bit of noise on the ground, the worms can come up to the surface, because you can see them going along here, and they're picking through and looking for the odd worm. Now, that is us, we're empty. So now, to save the tractor getting destroyed in slurry mist, I'm just going to turn sideways and I'll open it again, and it'll blow the slurry mist then away from the tractor. You're going to have to be clever for these things, otherwise the whole back window will be destroyed, and mirrors and everything in little spots of slurry. So you can see it's blowing it away there nicely. And that's about it, finished now. So what we'll do is we shall I'm going to drive up the field. I'm going to actually set the camera up. Some people are asking me for some more sounds from the 6.9 out near the exhaust, so I'm going to set the camera up and you'll be able to hear some of the exhaust note just as we pull up to the gate, and then we'll do a fast forwarded edit going home again like we did coming over, because unless something happens, and I could stop it halfway through and we'll talk about anything that I see here along the way. We'll see what happens. So right, we'll set up the camera outside and you can hear some more. So we're back after finishing that load. We have it spread and the full round trip is kind of videoed. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's not exactly the video I wanted to put up today. The video I wanted to put up was the drone footage video, but that wasn't to work out. But I'll see. I'll have another bit of slurry to do tomorrow, and if it's a good day, I'll maybe try and get a bit of drone footage of that. Videos over the coming days. We'll have a video up tomorrow. This video is, you'll be looking at this hopefully, I know, either Wednesday evening or Thursday morning probably when you'll see this video. I'll have another video up on Thursday evening talking about the O-Light that I got sent out. Just a little bit of a chat about it. Now that I've had it now for a week and I've used it, and just kind of like a little bit of a review on it. It won't be a very long video, just a little bit of a talk on it and some of the features and stuff that I like on it. And the other thing then is that they have a flash sale coming up on the 31st, which I think is Friday. Have to just check the diary. But yeah, they have a flash sale on where they have a huge discount on an array of lights that they have. They have some very, very good larger lights, and there's up to 40% off some of them. Plus I have a discount code as well, which gets you an additional 10%. So it's just something that maybe if you're thinking about buying a light, it could be an opportunity for you to get a light. But I will be posting about that. I'll have a link also in the description for you to go in and buy the light and get the discount and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that'll be tomorrow's video. And then on Saturday evening, I have a video I've actually yet done and all. It's scheduled to go up Saturday evening around 5, I think, 5 or 6. So there'll be a video going up of feeding the beef cattle. So that's a video I've been meaning to make over the last 6 weeks or so. And I finally got around to it last week. I shot it, was it last? I think it was towards the end of last week I got it shot. So yeah, that's just another video that I have coming up as well. Just kind of show just maybe filling the feeder, talk about ingredients that I'm putting in, and then when I've discharged all the feed out, I then have a quick look at some of the cattle and their intakes, and just what the beef cattle are eating, their kgs per head on meal and potatoes, silage, stuff like that. So just a little bit of a talk about that and the differences between the heifers and the bulls as well, and what they take. So that video is coming at the weekend, so on Saturday evening you'll see that. But yeah, that's really it for now. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the sub button if you're not already a subscriber. If you are a subscriber and you haven't rung the little bell beside the sub button, ring it. It'll give you a notification every time I post a video. And of course, leave a comment down below. I do try to get back to comments. I haven't in the last couple of videos, but I'll maybe do an hour session tonight and try to reply back to everybody who commented on the last couple of videos, and just reply to any of their answers or questions, answer their questions of whatever they ask. So I'll do that tonight if I can. So that's it. So we'll see you tomorrow with the O-Light video. Take care.